Harlingen. I'm Mayor Norma Sepulveda.
And I'm Cassandra Consiglio. Welcome to your first episode of Let's Talk Harlingen.
We're so excited that you're here with us today. This podcast is about bringing City Hall closer to home. You'll be hearing directly from us on things that matter.
Whether it's city events, projects, and what's going on in the city of Harlingen, we're holding space for a conversation with you. Before we get into it, we're going to get to know each other a little bit better. I really want to start off with getting to know you, Mayor, because I know that you as Mayor Norma Sepulveda, but I know that you're more than that. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. I think some of the people that follow me on Facebook see that I always put mayor, hashtag mayor of my hometown. I'm really proud to be from Harlingen, born and raised here. I'm married. My husband also here from Harlingen. We've got 2 boys, Eric and Evan. I feel like almost the community has really embraced my family. Whenever I go walk into a place or restaurant or somewhere where people know me, they always know Evan first. So I'm really proud of Evan, of course, and everything that he's been doing around the community, and having that support from Harlingen has been incredible. We also have 3 dogs. We have 3 labs, 2 chocolate labs, and a white lab. So our 2 chocolate labs are Maverick and Gunner, and then of course Goose, our silly Goose. We adopted him from the Harlingen Animal Shelter, and now he's part of our family too. And I've just, grew up here, from here. The city raised me, and I just thought I wanted to be able to give back to my community, and I thought the perfect way to do that would be to serve. And so it's been such an honor to be the mayor of my hometown, and I love it every day.
Well, as part of the staff, we wanted to say thank you because I feel like we've all been growing with you. Congratulations on being the first woman mayor. And we're just really proud to work together. There are about 700 employees, right? And we all are working towards the same thing to make a better Harlingen and to follow the vision of you and the commissioners. So thank you on our behalf. And we're excited as a Visit Harlingen team, communications team, to be able to get to know you a little bit better and to hear what the community wants to say. And we're going to have just more conversations like this and just be talking a little bit more. So thanks for getting on this podcast with me.
Yes, I'm super excited about this podcast. I know that it's really going to reach so many people in our community. And since you're going to be my co-host on this podcast, why not tell a little bit about yourself to our listeners? Everybody knows Cassandra as, just the face of Visit Harlingen, and you've done such an amazing job. And I think some of the things that our community would probably want to know is just a little bit about you, a nugget of information that isn't widely known. Let's share with our listeners.
Well, I have 3 babies. Well, I guess 7, 5, and 3.
Wow.
So I've been with the city of 8 years, and I've had my kids, and I have a lovely husband. And I really just enjoy spending time with them. I love going to soccer games. I love taking them places. I love doing all those things. I think it's really fun. And during COVID, definitely I started baking a lot with them. I think a lot of people did that. But now I have cakes at my house all the time. I think it's a little excessive. And so it's really fun to be with them. And I also like playing with my friends this game called Mahjong. And I play twice a month, and it's really exciting for me. And I love playing. I wish I could play more all the time. We're always one more game. Can we do another one? Does anybody want to stay longer? So I have a great group of girlfriends that I play that with, and everybody's a mom, and we're all, learning from each other's experiences. And, I have work time, mom time, and then Mahjong time, I like to say. So that's pretty much what I do.
That's awesome. So what is that again?
Mahjong.
Mahjong. Tell us a little bit about what is that?
It's a Chinese tile game, and you play, the American version, you play with a card, and it's really pattern making. So there's patterns on the card, and you try to match them up with the tiles that you get. And it's very fun because it's really luck and patterns. So you could get a horrible hand and, as smart as you are, you're still not going to win, right? So then you start playing defensively. Don't let anybody else win.
Oh,
That's
wow.
when you get a little more advanced, but it's fun. I'll have to teach you one day.
That's the competitive Cassandra that I know right there. I bet you kill it in that game. It sounds super interesting. I never really heard about it. I think I've heard a few celebrities talk about it. And I don't know, I'm getting at that age. I don't know about you, but women at a certain age, I'm not going to share my age, but you start to kind of, sometimes you can't remember remember vividly certain things, of course, things that you don't prioritize, like movies. But I have like this vision of a movie where there's a girl playing, and all of a sudden she's super competitive, and she's like the best. And she goes in, she does her thing, and then she walks off. Do you know what movie that is?
I don't know if Crazy Rich Asians.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, well, that makes sense.
Yes, and
So,
because it's a Chinese tile game, so it's fun. But they also, I think, allude to it in Kung Fu Panda 4, and I only know about that.
so
'cause I have
no.
little-
My kids are not Kung Fu Panda age,
don't
right?
watch it
No, no.
I do feel like we've seen Evan grow up, though.
Yes.
Like when you were first elected, like he looked
Oh
a
my
lot younger.
goodness. You know, it has been just a ride. I will tell you, these last few years, we were at a commission meeting just this last week, and Daniel, one of the commissioners, he said, you know, you just flipped open your iPad, you know, to get ready for the meeting, and he saw that it's a picture of my family. And so it's the day that I got sworn in. It's me and Evan and Eric and my husband. And Evan is just like tiny. And now it's every day I wake up thinking, is this going to be the day that he's taller than me?
Aw. Well, hopefully.
And we're getting there. I know. I mean, and that's something that is great, right? You want our kids to grow, but at the same time, it just, you know, it signals that he's growing, and he's no longer a little baby. He's in middle school, and, you know, he's my youngest. And so, you know, it's just, it's interesting to, you know, to have him grow up and so publicly, right, in front of the community. And I feel like everybody gets to share in that, which is awesome. But at the same time, like, there's some things that I want just for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just time flies when you're having fun, right?
Well, honestly, there's so much going on. Like we have projects happening. We have, you know, you go on to Austin, you fight for us there. You're fighting for us at City Commission almost, you know, twice a week, and you're in so many meetings. And we have advisory boards that you also communicate with. And I can see you trying to balance going to all the meetings, going to all the ribbon cuttings, going to all the events, and then also like, wait a minute, prioritize your kids. And I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And I think they're wonderful boys. You know, they're always really polite. They're always like, "Hi, how are you?" So they're very kind, and I think you're doing a fabulous job. So
Thank you. Well, I think you are Wonder Woman, because I'm thinking about myself, and of course, I've got 9 years different between my boys, because it's hard being a mom and balancing it all. But knowing that you have 3, all under the ages of 7. I mean, that right there, you were Superwoman. I
help. Nick's great.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sure, but still, I mean, just even two parents, right? Like, it's
Anybody
a
else
lot.
want to come help?
Right?
Accepting more help? Anybody?
Anytime, help wanted.
I do know that my kids like his food a little bit better than mine sometimes.
Mine too.
I don't mind though.
Me neither.
It doesn't affect me.
Not at
You're
all.
like, oh, that's great. That just means you get to cook more often than me, so I'm cool with it. No problem.
I love it. I love it.
Well, I do want to talk about where we are, right? So we are in downtown building, and we are in a new podcast studio, and we have a new communications department. Not my department, but they live right next to me, right? Next door in my office.
Literally.
So it's really cool that we're here sharing a space. Can you tell us a little bit about how we got to build this studio and how we got this money?
Yes. And so this is a real interesting story. You know, I think that we've come a long way here in the city of Harlingen over the last 3 years. We have a communications and media department. They do an amazing job. I'm sure that listeners have seen them out in the community. We have Callista, who's our social media manager, who's absolutely amazing. And I always say has the best red lipstick. I'm super jealous.
She does a great job.
She does. And we have Brandon, who is really, you know, behind the scenes and behind the camera. Sometimes he's in front of the camera, and it's pretty cool.
And people like seeing him.
Yes.
He's a charismatic guy.
He is. He's absolutely amazing. And then, of course, we have the other departments in this building, like downtown, Visit Harlingen, and it's really a team effort. So a collaboration of creative minds coming together, and so there are lots of ideas born in this building. So the PEG channel is something that provided an opportunity for us to have this podcast. And so many people are asking probably, what's a PEG channel? When I was growing up and I was in high school, there was always, you would in class, you would get to watch Channel 1 on television, and that was the channel for local governments and school districts to provide information. And so I've noticed that these channels still exist today. And so when I came on board, I asked, what channel is the city of Harlingen, right? I want to promote all things Harlingen, even if a lot of people in our community may not have regular cable anymore, but there is still a demographic that does. So I wanted to be able to reach everybody in all platforms. And that's when I learned that we weren't really utilizing the PEG channel. So asked a couple of questions. Long story short, I was told that there had not been any movement on the PEG channel, and we were at risk of losing funding from Spectrum, who provides cities, municipalities like ours, money to operate these channels. And so, of course, I said, well, how much money? And it was over $1 million in the bank, and it was incredible. It's like winning the lotto, right? And saying, oh my goodness, what can we do? So, of course, we wanted to know, what is it that we can do with these funds? And one of those things was to be able to have this podcast, and it would be aired on the PEG channel. And so, of course, I have an amazing team, and we got together and decided that this is something that we wanted to do for Harlingen, just so that way we could provide just another way of getting information out there.
So I do know the PEG channel's up and running. It's channel 1300 on Spectrum, so you can check it out there. And right now they have running like the commission meetings and some like information that you need. And honestly, like with that money, we were able to get the communications vehicle. We were able to get this really fancy equipment. We were able to really produce a technologically advanced department. And, we cannot be lagging behind. We want to be at the top, and we want to be in the forefront of getting our information out there. And I think this is like a great way of doing it. And so we don't only use this studio for our podcast, right? We use it for other ways of, other filming. So like if departments have something to say, they can come in here, shoot it, and Brandon is great, lights us up, like makes us look wonderful.
Yes.
So we are thankful to the communications team for getting us another medium of getting the information out to the public.
Absolutely. And I think you're shooting your new segment that you have with Delma, who's our events coordinator.
Yes.
Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about that?
Well, honestly, I would like to shout out KSHS. Delma and I learned our, news anchoring there in high school at South. And
I love it.
So it was, honestly, when you said Channel 1, I'm like, oh my God, I love Channel 1. It was like the best thing to watch in the morning. And then we also shot this show on KSHS. It would air on Friday night. So we had like a big filming day. It was great. And that's where we learned, just like the fundamentals, and we could like write our own scripts and do all our stuff. And now I'm doing it for the city of Harlingen, which is kind of crazy. I think probably if you ask teachers that. So it's fun though, because obviously we like to talk and we like to say what's going on, right? Because I don't want anybody to miss a fun event. I don't want anybody to miss what's going on. There's Red Crowns games, there's city events, like the parks has tons of things going on. So we want to tell the people, that's all I'm here for, is sharing information. It's not gossiping, it's sharing information, really, is what I say.
So I heard Red Crowns. For those that are listening and don't know, and I don't know how they can't know, but if they don't know, tell them about the Red Crowns.
So it's a semi-pro soccer team that the city of Harlingen has. It's awesome because we have a lot of talent in the Rio Grande Valley. We have a lot of homegrown talent in Harlingen. And the president, Colby, he really wants to promote that. And I think it's wonderful because there's so many players in Harlingen and in the Valley that don't necessarily get the opportunity to be in front of a scout or in front of people that might put them on a semi-pro team. And now they have the opportunity. So this is a league that's nationwide, and they're playing games in Harlingen, in Dallas, in Houston, I believe, and our next game is going to be May 31st. So that's this Saturday, and it's right after a big event of yours that's happening, actually.
That
So
is right.
you're gonna tell everybody at your State of the City about the Red Crown game, is that it?
Oh my goodness, yes. And so I'm so glad that you brought that up because yes, I've been excited about having just some life being just back into the White Wing Stadium, and to know that we have our own semi-pro team here in Harlingen is just phenomenal. And so I know this past weekend it was their first home game
And they
and
won.
they won, which is incredible. And then of course there's one this weekend that I hope to catch with my family, and I hope, I hope to see you out there with the kiddos. I think it's going to be a great game. But yes, it is going to be after our State of the City, which is going to be happening on Thursday at the Harlingen Convention Center. And I'm really excited, and I'm hoping that the community can come out and just really listen and learn about all the wonderful things that are happening here in Harlingen. Our theme this year is a city working together, working for you. And, we talked about that just here in this department, how it's not about, okay, CVB does this or downtown does this or media does that. It's really about working together to provide exceptional services to the community. And I really think it's time that we really highlight all of the wonderful people that we have working for the city. So this year is going to be much different than years past. I think it's going to be the best yet. And I'm super excited. And I hope everybody comes out. And for those that aren't able to come in person, we completely understand. You want to share with the listeners where
Yeah.
they can maybe also watch?
So it's going to be on YouTube. And also, if you go to visit harlingentexas.com, we'll have a link there. And at harlingentx.gov, we'll have a link for it to go there. And of course, where everybody gets their information, it'll be on Facebook. So you go to Facebook, you'll get all the information on how to catch the State of the City online, but you can also still buy tickets. So Eventbrite has tickets available for the Harlingen State of the City.
Right.
And you also, I know that one of your main goals of the State of the City was to give back from
Yes.
doing so. Can you tell me a little bit about how much money you've given and to who?
Yeah, so when I came on board, we kind of changed a little bit how the State of the City was run. And one of the things that was really important to me is to not use taxpayer dollars. Just like no taxpayer dollars went into the creation of this podcast, we have to think outside the box, be creative, and see how we can do more, but with less, right? That's how I think every small community has that mandate from the community. And so one of the things that I wanted to do was to make sure that it was not taxpayer funded. And so the only way to do that is with sponsorships. We live in an amazing community, and sponsors help us put on amazing events that that your department is in charge of. And so this was something similar. And so I was really just pleasantly surprised that we had so many people willing to step up. And so, of course, once we started getting all of the sponsorships and reducing the cost of the ticket price to come in, I thought, well, now we have all this money. What are we going to do with that, right? And I thought, what better way than to give back to our community? So year one, we were so happy to give $20,000 to local nonprofits. At year two, it was $50,000.
Wow.
So altogether, we've already given out $70,000 to nonprofits just by having a State of the City, bringing everybody, to the table to talk about all things Harlingen and getting our sponsors involved. And it's just been incredible. And I can't wait. This year, we're doing it a little bit different. Last year, we unveiled kind of the sponsors. This time, we're going to do it at the State of the City. So those of you that are watching, those of you that are listening, please come. It's going to be an amazing show. It's going to be a wonderful event. And we are going to be honoring, I will tell you this, we're going to be honoring two nonprofits, and they are doing amazing work here in our community. And I just can't wait to share that with Harlingen.
I'm excited to see, who you're going to give the money to, because everybody's so deserving.
Yes.
And we really we trust you. We think it's going to be a fabulous idea, whatever, whoever nonprofit gets it. And there's always, room to grow, right? Our events are getting better every year. And I think you've done a great job with that. That's awesome that you gave so much money away. I had no idea it was $70,000. That's really great. But yes, the event is May 29th. It starts at 5:30. The doors open at 5. You can get there at 5 o'clock to the Harlingen Convention Center. And there is going to be some media passes available. So if you're part of the media, you need to register and see if you can get a media pass, because we want to just make sure everybody who's going has a credential and is part of the media. And also, we're gonna have Brody Rivers in the lobby. He's gonna be showing. It's gonna be like a private concert, a concert for those that are attending. And also, there's gonna be some local restaurants giving food. So it's just gonna be a wonderful event. And it's May 29th. Tickets are still available, and you're gonna have an awesome speech, and you're gonna give the information about who's gonna get the money, right?
Yes, it is. It's going to be exciting. There are lots of useful information. We're really going to just talk about how we got to where we are today, right? All of the accomplishments so far, what lies ahead for Harlingen, and just really celebrating the little wins that we've had along the way. And so I'm just super, super excited. One of the things that's new, I think, to the state of the city too for the last few years has been this social hour. And so some cities will do their state of the city during the day. Others will do them in the evening. And there's, lots of reasons why one's not better than the other or anything like that. But having it in the evening kind of lends itself to more of a date night, right? So you could potentially grab your hubby and take a break and come listen to all the great things about Harlingen. And during that social hour, we have a sponsorship from L&F. And so we're going to have 2 free adult beverages for the community, along with all of these samples. Do you want to share some of the restaurants that are going to be providing little appetizers?
Yeah, so we have Antigua Bakery. We'll have Provecho y Salud. We will have Isadora's, the new one that just opened up. Just Fresh. And Cheyenne's will also be there. So those, I think I'm missing one. I don't remember the other.
So yes, so there's going to be multiple small businesses there, and yeah, I know Cheyenne's is downtown right here, and I know that a lot of y'all from this department like to go down there just because it's down the street, and they've got really good food, and we just all of the small businesses, especially the new one, that Brazilian
Yes.
restaurant. I'm excited because I haven't had an opportunity to try it, so I think it's going to be a great night, and so all the proceeds from this night that are not expended on obviously putting the event together are going to go to nonprofits. And so it's going to be a great night to not just to have a good time, but to give back as a community.
I mean, we're all excited for it. So that's a big event that's happening in the city this
Yes.
week. And so March 29th, we'll have the State of the City. And then March 31st, we'll have the Red Crown game. So I'm going to see you a lot this week, I hope.
Yes. And I hope to see so many from the community out at both of these events. I think it's going to be a great time. What a wonderful way to just kick off the summer.
I
right?
agree. I definitely agree. And I definitely think that this is a great way for us to kick off our podcast. We just kind of wanted to get to know each other and wanted you guys to get to know us a little bit more. And, you guys can email us about any other kind of topics you want to discuss. And it's called Let's Talk Harlingen at harlingentx.gov. That's our email address. And people can email in questions, email topics. They can ask us questions about what we should talk about on our next podcast.
That's awesome. So I think, when we were, because everything we do together as a team, and we were thinking of the name of this podcast, and I think we all kind of agreed on Let's Talk Harlingen, because that's what we're doing, right? We're talking about all things Harlingen. We want to make sure that people know that it's not going to be just as much as I love you, Cassandra. It's not going to be just you and me on each episode. We're going to invite guests to our podcast. We're going to talk about community leaders, rock stars in our community. Maybe we can get the Red Crowns.
Yes.
We'll talk about what's happening in the community. So there's a lot, anything and everything that's happening in Harlingen we'll be able to share here on our podcast. And so this is a great way, like you mentioned, to kick it off with the first episode. And I really, really appreciate the opportunity just to have another platform to talk to our community. And I know that people are going to get to know you a little bit more along the way, which is fantastic because you really do such a great job for Harlingen, and we're lucky to have you.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I know that we're going to be available on Apple Podcast and everywhere you get your podcast. You can get it on YouTube as well. We'll drop it on Facebook. Make sure to like it. Be sure to comment, share it with your friends, and get all of your information from the city of Harlingen from us because we should know it all. I think.
Yes, yes.
I
So
do.
we know that there's, lots of ways to get information, but here should be your one-stop shop for all things Harlingen. And I think another way for people to get involved, right, is to do exactly what you said and send over some emails with suggestions on what they want to hear, what they liked about this podcast. And I think that you're going to get some people saying, what about these cool little cups that you've got, these Yeti cups that say, let's talk Harlingen. I'm sure you're going to get an email or two, but we want to remind our listeners too that I think that if they follow the City of Harlingen Facebook page, that they may be giving some of those away, and also tickets to the State of the City. So it might be worth their while to, in addition to subscribing to this amazing podcast, is to also make sure to follow all the socials.
So what should we talk about next time?
You tell us. We want to hear from you. What are your questions, ideas, concerns?
You can email us at letstalkharlingen@harlingentx.gov.
This podcast is just getting started, and so are we.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and share this podcast. Until next time, this has been Let's Talk Harlingen.